Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy. The struggle is real. Took a hiatus for a minute. I had to transition from going to work and weekend classes at Roadmaster. I think in the previous video I had let y'all know that I had got into class or whatnot. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna give you a little insight on the weekend course and how that goes at Roadmaster. I'm just 2 weekends in, so I can't tell you everything. Just finished my last weekend. Today is actually Martin Luther King Day. Um, Thank God, I have an entire day off. Very weird, trust. But yeah, with the weekend class at Roadmaster, it's our blog book, teaching us how to do our log in everything every day of your life, which is very important for truck drivers. But yeah, with the weekend classes, they start from on Saturdays and Sundays, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a hour lunch starting at 12 to 1. The first 2 weeks, 2 weekends, they're going to push you to get your permit. I mean, at the introduction, when you even sign up, they'll be telling you to go get your permit. Permit. The permit is the legal piece of paper to drive with someone that has a CDL accompanying you. So they'll be pressing you. You'll be doing a lot of tests in the class to prepare you to go to the DMV to take their test to get your permit. The first 2 weekends, they're going to push. But if you actually go before you start class, your first day of class, you can actually have the some things waived, they say, but it's not that much or whatnot. But you can have some things waived. And me, I was one of the people to go and get my permit before I started class. You know, I like to stay ahead of the game. So I went and grabbed my permit, and because it was the Christmas holiday, we was out for like a week, so I took advantage of that. I actually got my permit and my and endorsement, a tanker endorsement, which is pretty simple to get, no lie. Your permit, what's the permit look like, whatnot, for the Class A, yada yada yada. Yeah, they last a period of 180 days. I'm sorry, 180 days. I was thinking 120, but 180 days to have your permit before it expires. So between that time, you have to get your CDL, or it'll expire on you. But with that, I actually went and took went and studied, and I used the app, CDL Study Buddy. That's what I use, and it has your state, Georgia, Florida, wherever you're from, and how your test will be. The questions for your state and so forth and so on. And I used that, which was pretty good, no lie, because I did end up passing. I did have to take. I studied very hard on air brakes, because I was very concerned about air brakes. Intimidated, should I say? But this is one of the apps. If you can see it clearly, Study Buddy. I mean, you just stay still. I don't know. I see a glare on it. That's why. Okay, I see it right there. The Study Buddy is at the bottom. Yeah, Study Buddy. I like that app because it had an Audible booking, Audible book for the CDL, so I didn't have to actually read. I meditate. I went to sleep on it, kept it in my ear, worked with it in my ear, just kept listening to it. And to each his own. However you study, you study. However you learn, you learn. However you take in and retain information, that's you. Me, that was great for me or whatnot. And they got tests on the practice tests, like 20 questions, 50 questions on there. So that are pretty similar to the ones that actually going to be on the actual the test that you take. But you'll take a air brake test, combination test, and general knowledge. Now, me myself, air brake, because I studied so freaking hard, I knocked that out first try. Bow. I had to take twice both the combination and general knowledge. And the reason why I had to take general knowledge, which was 50 questions, is because I overthought it. It's trick questions like how do you beep the horn? I was like, hit the brake. It was stupid stuff I was doing. But that's the reason why. And plus, when you get to that part where it's like you can only miss two more, you start panicking and yada. So under pressure, I kind of. So I had to take them two twice, the combination and the general twice, but knocked them out. It was like $6 on the Florida, so it was like $6, and I forgot the exact change it took for me to take the tests and take all three at the same time. I mean, take all three for the 6, but for each additional one, I had to actual go back and retake. It was $10 per test. So that didn't come out too bad. But I knocked them out and got my permit. Then went back within that time frame before going to a matter of fact, I got my permit before we even went into the break. But in the break, I went back and got the endorsement for the tanker, which was only a 20-question test. Like that was like very simple. About baffles and things like that. I encourage it just to get it. You never know if you're out. I just thought about me being out, wanting to get back home, and out meaning over the road, get back home, and the only load that was getting here was maybe what if it's a tanker? You know what I'm saying? It's not a dry van or refrigerated. So what if it's a tanker? And it was pretty simple to get to. Like I said, 20 questions, not that I only can miss 4. I think I missed 2 on that. So yeah, I went and grabbed that and with the thoughts of that going on. So I knocked that out. But with the weekend class, to get in more detail, because I had a friend of mine ask me, it was like, yo, do you take the test there, your actual driving test, to get your CDL? And you do. They have qualified instructors or licensed instructors. When it's time to take your actual test, your actual on-the-road test, you'll go out with them, and the examiners will actually test you on the road, and you whether pass or fail. If you fail, you fail. But if you pass, you just take that up there and go and get your to the DMV and go and get your license. So you test there. You don't, because the question was, do I have to do all my studying there? They just get me prepared to go up to the DMV and test there. And no, you don't. You test actually at your school, or whatnot. So, with that, when I got my permit, I don't know, because I had some people telling me that they had to get their permit, to actually receive the permit, they had to have their medical cards, which we hadn't taken our medical yet. I didn't. I don't know if this was a fluke. I don't think so. But I didn't have to have my medical cards to get my permit. But when I got in the class, I saw people like, yeah, I got my permit, but they wouldn't give it to me without my medical card. And DOT, you got to take a DOT physical. And that is what you'll be paying for at Roadmaster. You'll be paying that $105 for that. You're going to pay for that. So have that money ready the following weekend. Because you're supposed to take the DOT physical that weekend, the first day in class, because they want you getting ready and going to get your permit. Our class, our doctor, didn't want to be there. So we didn't show up the first weekend. The nurses or nothing. So we had to wait till the weekend that just passed for the doctor to actually be there. So he gave us our physicals, yada yada yada. But still, we don't have our card. So they say, well, we'll have them Tuesday or next weekend, I assume. But that's really for the people that need to get their permit physically in their hand. I've already got my permit, as I've showed you, got my permit. So, but you do need that to drive out on the road. If anything ever happens, you have to have your license, your permit, your logbook, and logbook filled out correctly. Gotta have your, like I said, gotta have that physical card, that DOT. I'm cleared to drive. I'm physically of good health to be able to drive. Your license or permit in my case, and your DOT logbook. Have to, So, yeah. So that's the myth busted on that. As far as class, man, pretty sweet. I got a cool bunch in my class, man. I'm not afraid to ask questions and talk or whatnot. It's like probably, I guess, because I'm on a weekend class. Like every weekend, we have someone come in to try to from a trucking company and try to convince us to come with them. Like, I tell you this now, you're promised a job as long as you could perform the duties in the truck as far as like backing up. You know what I'm saying? Driving. Which you, even after class, you're in class, it's just an introduction. We're going to teach you how to get this truck moving forward. There's no weight in the trailer. It's totally empty. We're going to teach you how to move this thing forward, get on the road, know how to turn safely, back this thing up, PIT, pre-trip, or PTI, you know what I'm saying, pre-trip inspection, and, simple things like that. Actually driving with weight, nighttime driving, things like that, you're not going to get any of that until you go to your actual company. And then that's where your training will further at that company. Once they see what you can do, can you back up and so forth and so on. What did you really learn out there at your school? But basically, I mean, you will learn it. Like, even though it's 2 days, it's everything crammed in. You know what I'm saying? So we have things like E-Trade that's online. I even use my phone to do my E-Trade. That's what I was doing before I did this video. To do your E-Trades, online activities, and a lot of videos that you have to go through. And you have to finish all your E-Trades. E-Trades. Like, this is some of my entire thing, E-Trades. If you can see, the ones that are actually starred are the ones you have to do first, which is like driver qualifications, CDL basics, pre-trip inspections, air brakes, basic vehicle controls, coupling, uncoupling, fifth wheel. Then on the back there's one more longer combination vehicles. But regardless of that, you have to finish all of them before you can even do your last actual exam. And you have to pass your last exam. You have to pass your last exam, which is just everything that you've studied and covered in the classroom. You should have retained that information. We've just had one student to actually take the test. Like, this is our second weekend. He took the test because he had done his E-Trade, finished his E-Trades, which is online, and you're set up with computers. And you can do it in class, or you can go home and finish from there. And he knocked it out. And the instructor was like, "Yo, you're done with the class. You're done with the actual classroom part of it. Like, all you have to do now is just do everything you do out in the truck. Learn that, get that right, and you'll be on a point system out there." So that encouraged me to, hey, let me go ahead and knock this E-Trade out so I can just focus on the truck, because that's really, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, being in the truck. Because hands-on, some people are hands-on. Like me, I got to be hands-on. Let me touch this thing. Let me see what's going on physically. I'm mechanically inclined, so some things are kind of like, natural, inside of a car engine or a truck engine. Some things are similar besides when it comes to the air brakes. That's why I studied air brakes so much. I knew nothing about air brakes, hydraulic system, hydraulic brakes, but not air brakes. Yeah. So your E-Trade, you'll do E-Trades in class. And they're even dated like day 1, day 2, day 3. But I'm in a weekend class, so we can't do day 1, day 2, day 3. You have to kind of do like day 2 through day 4 on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like, get them crammed in and so forth and so on. So the quicker you finish your E-Trades, the quicker you can hurry up and take your exam. And we have 2 tries to take that exam or whatnot. If you don't pass on the second time, you have to talk to a higher up, and you'll go through some mess with that. But you should. Most of the people pass it. Because like the first test is the second test. If you fail the first one, it's the exact same. And even when you get a question wrong, it tells you the answer. So it's good to have a photographic memory of some sort. Um, so with that, like the parts out there, you'll either be on the road if you're driving and you got your permit, medical cars, focus on. Be out on the road, the actual road, or pad. Pad means we're in a safe zone where we're driving up, learning how to back. Straight backing. It'll be just exactly what it means. It's straight back. But don't think that it's that simple. While straight backing, you're on a pivot point, on a pin. Any movement of that steering wheel turns you left, right, like quickly. You know what I'm saying? If you overturn, oversteer, it's not like the car. I go left and the back end goes left and I goes right. No, it's the opposite. That's all it is. It's the opposite. You see that the wall is on your left hand side. It's about to hit the wall. Your trailer that you're moving is about to hit the wall. It's moving to the left. You actually turn to the left to make it move to the right. It becomes common sense kind of quick. Excuse me. I've done driving on the pad, straight backing and offset backing. I had to get familiar with that because you got to drive. Calls like crazy. Saying backwards so focused on, but I had to get used to the opposite. You know what I'm saying? The invert of it all. But the offset backing is instead of backing straight, I have to back into the next terminal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm straight, but now I have to go forward enough and then back up. And technically, what we had to do was when we straightened up, we had to turn the wheel into a direction, whichever direction you're going in, one time to the right or one time to the left, and meaning at 12 o'clock at the top, and it's one complete turn. And most people couldn't catch that. It's like turn, they'll turn it hard. Like no, that's not what they want. It's one turn, then back up, and then and you're in cones, and you have to when you're about to, you can't see the corner of that corner. You're right there, and you can only see the corner of that cone. Is when you start cutting back and so forth and so on. So, but the classroom is pretty classroom, and even the driving is simple if you do have some knowledge about driving, and even if not, I mean, we have people that they get it. You know what I'm saying? It's not difficult. Can you actually? Okay. One thing I do want to note, like I said, you have a job, but you don't have to take the jobs. I saw one video on YouTube and dude was like, "Yo, yeah, I don't like Roadmaster because it seemed like they was trying to make you go to a job." What they're doing, they're financing. What they're saying is, "Hey, we go shoot you a loan if we know you can pay it back." And the way you're going to pay it back, if you're going to pay out of pocket, cool. But if not, a lot of people get financed through, or if you're military, then your GI or whatever pays for that. But yeah, if they know that you're going to pay them back, like me, credit was right, license again, your license got to be good, so we can get you a job, no issue. So we know you can pay it back, but they push you towards going. Or offer you more so going towards the companies that will pay them back ASAP. They know will pay them back. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to Warner will pay them back after X amount of months and so forth, so on. Guarantee no fans. But now you can go to your own company. You can go to your own company, or meaning a company that is not a direction that they're pushing you into. You can go to that company, but then you're responsible for paying them back. Because if you went to like something like Warner, I keep mentioning Warner, because if you go to them, then they will take like $120 some out your check and make sure that Roadmaster gets paid back. So that's just it. They just want their money back. That's it. And I understood that, because I mean, who would you loan money to if you know they couldn't pay you back? Like, it's common sense. So yeah. So if you got your good license popping. And they evaluate this. You will not be in that classroom if they had a doubt that you couldn't pay them back. So meaning that they can get you a job. There's so many companies out there too. Like, it's kind of impossible to get you a job unless you got some type of drug crap or whatever, or failed a freaking DOT physical. Because it's like if you've been taking this drug, that drug, any type of freaking drug, and you come in here taking this DOT physical. do not take the DOT physical. You wait months or whatever the case may be. Some of the companies that they send you to, I think Warner takes a hair follicle test. So yeah, he couldn't, but they want to see what's really in your system for the last 4 months, I think, or whatnot. And you do not want to fail the DOT physicals. You do not want to fail the drug tests. You do not want to. It goes on your report. I don't know if that actually goes on your DAC report, but it goes on your report. And you do not look good, and it's hard to get to a job, or it's hard for you to get a job. But basically, if you have a CDL, there's no reason for you to be out of work, unless you just don't want to drive. Yeah. But besides that, man, their goal is to make money for their company, of course. But get you out there working so you can pay them back. The instructors are pretty cool, man, pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Classroom is I want to say laid back, but they will press this information in you. You will test, practice tests before you go and take your to get your permit. You know, and then you'll test after, get this information. They will cram this in you. Well, I'm in the weekend class, so of course we only got 2 days to cram this stuff into you. And the cool thing about it, if you're in a weekend class and you want to come in during a week and you like I have a day off or something like that, you can. You know what I'm saying? And get some of your hours. You'll have a card. You have a card or whatnot that you'll clock in, and it counts down your hours, your 180 hours or whatnot. It'll count down your hours or whatnot, because you need a certain amount of hours to be in the classroom, a certain amount of hours to do this, that, and the third. But Roadmaster, my experience so far with these last 2 weeks has been great, man. I'm pretty confident that success is definitely there, and I'm going to be very successful. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to go OTR or what. I'm thinking about it, because all I keep thinking about is $100,000 and over. Like, I ain't trying to say it in my first year, but I know how I am about getting money. I go out there and go get it. Rain, sleet, snow, or hell. I'm a grounder. So, yeah, man. It's a great experience, man. If any one of you are out there like, yo, I wonder if I should do it or try it. I have the problem with debt. I pay debt back. I'm not one of them people that, oh man, don't worry about it. So I'm not that dude. I like being able to go get what I want when I want. So that's what's up with that. But getting my money up more with the Roadmaster and driving thing, that's important to be able to go really get. Because I'm stingy on stuff. I just pay attention, real tedious on paying attention on how things look before I get it. So I did a lot of research on Roadmaster before I actually got into the school. But as far as what I have and what I see so far, it's pretty good experience, man. Pretty good experience. If I can get video, I will. We're not really supposed to have our phones. I know some of y'all will be looking for that. And the flash turned off. Or whatnot. And I plan on putting up more videos, driving videos, wherever I go at, whatever company I choose, or whatnot. But yeah, it's been a great experience, man. It's not difficult. Their goal is to, you got to understand, they want their money back. So you're darn near guaranteed to get your CDL unless you don't show up to school, unless you accident or something out there on the road. I mean, there's no way you can fail unless you want to. Because I've seen people come back, hey, CDL, I'm out of here. They have second day, I think, we had a student come back. He was working with Warner. I guess that's all Warner's in my head. He's actually working with Warner, and he came in with the truck, and he's on a dedicated account, meaning he knows his route every day in and out. Off on the weekends, only drives as far as South Carolina, and back down. Dropping off, I think, was he Dollar Tree? Family Dollar? One of them jokers. And he's dedicated in and out. I was like, woo, sweet. Only thing I did not like about that is he was unloading his own freight. I don't want to unload my own freight. The purpose of getting in the truck is I don't want to touch this stuff. Real talk, man. I don't want to touch this stuff. But I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do or whatnot. So, I mean, the freight is on wheels and you just roll it out. But it's going to be raining some days. It's going to be cold some days, you know. I mean, you're getting paid for the time you're doing it. You know, I mean, it depends on you. You know. So, yeah, man. Pretty good experience. All the other companies, you could probably go out there too and start with them off top, and they'll pay for your tuition and all, and you won't have to be in debt. Probably. I've seen some. I won't mention. I didn't want to. I want to have an option of going to the company I want to go to. And I think a Roadmaster I actually have. And the options they have are pretty good too. You know, you're not going to get out there and hit the ground running or whatnot. I even, a load board. I asked my instructor about a load board. I said, do you have to be ordnance operators to have a load board? He was like, no. I mean, to be on or get on a load board. He was like, no, you don't. Matter of fact, his last 8 years, he explains to us that he had a dedicated account and a route because he ran over the road. He was gone. He was like, y'all wouldn't be seeing me today if I didn't have a situation that happened or whatever the case would be with my back. You know, that's all. You know what I'm saying? So now that's the reason why y'all see me and I'm doing this now. But I was still hitting the road. I was eating, and but even the last 8 years of the company you went to, the dedicated account was paying just as much as him going, you know what I'm saying, over the road. So that's when I found out I didn't necessarily have to go over the road. But that's when you got a good a handler, people that know you out there, and so forth and so on. You know, you get a good relationship out there, then people will see this dude is about it. You know what I'm saying? So they'll start taking care of you. Favoritism. Just say it what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because he got the call one day while he was hitting the roads, and they was like, yo, check this out. Do you want to get this run, this dedicated run? He's like, no, I don't really know about that, man. I mean, real good kids. He's so focused on it. He'll say it like, my family didn't get to see me much. I missed out on a whole lot of events. But because of me being out there, they didn't want for nothing. That's my heart. I don't want mine to want for anything. And if I got to put it on my back to do it, it is what it is. You know, thank God for all blessings below. Like, it ain't just me, it's the power within. So, never get it twisted. Like, I'm man, I can't do nothing of my own. But, yeah. But he looked over the paperwork. He checked that last sheet that had the numbers on it. He was like, ooh, weak for this? Yes. So, yeah, man. And we've been warned, do not mess up a dedicated run. Don't mess that up because that company is, you know what I'm saying? They rely on that run every day. If it's a Walmart, back and forth, hey, that is what it is. Because he had something. Well, the other dude that came in, he let us know that he was off on the weekends. The one that was doing Dollar General, Family Dollar, whatever. He was off on the weekend, so he loved that. The reason why he loved that place, he didn't go too far out. I forgot the schedule of my instructor, but he had a suite too. I know he said he would come in like either Friday night or Saturday morning, be off Saturday, Sunday, and off a couple of days, a day or two in a week too, and still ate very good. And took that run for 8 years. So 8 years, and he said it was good. It was good. You know, so I don't know. They even give you the options of being an instructor. I thought about that, extra 20 G's, but you know, that's like 80, if so, or 79, 70,000, something like that. I'm still looking at that $100,000 mark. That's a goal of mine. Like, go and get that. So, when y'all see me out there. I'm gonna get the GoPro, camera, so forth and so on. One step at a time, man. I mean, even right now, I'm still doing this with the phone, so if the clarity isn't good, hey, whatever. It's the Note 3, man. She's still popping for me, you know. But yeah, I want to give y'all a little insight, man. I've been gone, but here now. Try to put up more, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting my studying. I'm finna get back to my E-Trades, finish that up. And then what I have to study is the another instructor came in and told us some things because we're about to go to his Oh yeah, air brake test, inside cab, air brake test, inside cab, air brake test. So we're about to start doing this. So he was like, "Yo, it's a heads up. This what y'all." I'm sorry, just not got into focus. This what y'all about to get into. So I'm gonna give you a heads up on it. Study this in this order. So that's my E-Trades. I'm about to get into that and study on that. So even though I'm off today, I'm not off today. You know, like we're being told, if you really want it, you go out there and get it. And that's why I haven't really been putting no videos. I'm really, when I get to studying, when I get to focus, and when I put my feet, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people out there that go to school for things, and they buckle down because they know when they get there, you know, then I can sit back and rest or chill or so forth and so on. But I have to get there first. I have to, like, even getting my foot in the door, even when I start off driving, I'm still training. I'm not a professional. You know what I'm saying? I have to get this down pack. I have to be meticulous, pay attention. I have to look, listen, learn, grasp. You know what I'm saying? Retain information. And I know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? I'm a tadpole. I got to get there. But the only way to get there is to keep pushing and push hard. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody out there grinding harder than you every day. So, and I acknowledge that. But that don't mean I'm not going to win. That does not mean I'm not going to win. I am focused. So focused. So, yeah, if you haven't been seeing me, you know, I know I'm not that important anyway. But I am here. Hey! And I said I was going to wash my hair today, so in between this time when I take my little breaks, I'm going to do that too. But, man, for y'all that want to see more videos and so forth and so on, they will be up. They will be coming. A lot of y'all wanted the information on the Roadmaster stuff, and that's a little bit of it. That's just a little bit, you know. Me, to find out about stuff, I need to see what somebody else went through. So that's why I was like, yo, let me put up a video to help somebody else or whatnot. But Roadmaster, man, for me in Florida, it's great experience. Great experience so far. Only 2 weeks in, man. 2 weekends in. And I've seen people already have pretty good success in the goals and the place that they're trying to go or whatnot. But this is just to clear up a couple of the myths. Like, you have to go here. They're going to push you to go here. No, they're just trying to push you to go somewhere to get their money back. The same you would do it. You would do it too. Somebody owe you money and you know they can go to their grandma to get that money. You like, hey man, go get grandma. Hey, go to grandma, go get that money because you owe me. You know, whatever y'all do after that, that's y'all. But you owe me, so go get that money. You don't care how it comes, you want your money. But the instructors, man, they care. Like, I got one in there that's really like on point. And he said like, yo, I want you out of my class. I want you out of my class. Not in a negative way. I want you to pass. I want you to get out of here. And then once you get out of my classroom, I want you out to school because now you're on the field, you're driving, you know what I'm saying? So now your next step is like push. I mean, why wouldn't you push them off the bridge and see if you can fly? Like, go, get out of here. You can't sit here and expect to be successful. You got to get out of here, but you got to push. And you got them